朝早く起きすぎて頭回んねえ。今日の開始時間を遅らせてくれよ。
Hey, what's up, man? Hello.
戦いは苦しみから明日を遠ざけるために。
Dude, this place looks awesome.
大丈夫だ。俺の出番だぜ。お前らはもう死んでいる。始まりだ。絶望へのカウントダウン。戦いはこれはベストコンビだ。大丈夫だ。大丈夫だ。バーカ！このパンチを食らえ！
グレンで全てを集結させる。
俺の出番だぞ。ぶっ飛ばしてやる！
出撃します。
極寒の中、弾春が咲き誇る。彼らの罪を清算しよう。これはベストコンビだ。
ルシア、出撃します。
始まりだ。絶望へのカウントダウン。
グレンは咲き乱れている。私の剣の炎は全ての障害を焼き尽くします。戦闘終了。お次の戦闘は何ですか？
I'm hanging in there. Let's just leave it at that. Hanging in there. I had a very difficult day
戦い
yesterday.
は苦しみから明日を遠ざけるために。俺の出番だぜ。お前
キュール、フォロー、ワール、ダルフィ、発戦機。誰一人逃がしません。悪党邪道。
Oh, you just come in and
大惨。
drop a $10 donation. Thank you. Didn't have to do that. I'm not gonna pretend like I don't need it, but thank you regardless. That's nice of you. Yeah, it's been difficult. But next month I'm done paying the computer bill, so it'll pretty much be like one more month of this, and then things will be a lot easier. I don't really even think there's any games coming out next month that I really want to play anyway, so I'll probably just cash on this game and that's it. If I keep playing Pinnacle of Combat, I'll just play the CN version, which has I got like $600 of free credit on that. Next month is still gonna be hard, but I think it'll still be easier than the last few months. So, thanks to anybody who helps me. I don't think there's anything really coming out in August I can think of. I might check out the Ratchet and Clank port, but I would rather wait and see if it's a good port. I did like the old Ratchet and Clank games. But I know better than to buy a PC port blindly. Not in the year 2023, you don't do that. You do not do that. Let somebody who's rich be the guinea pig. This guy is like the coolest character. Finally a male character. Too much of this in this game. I don't like this. I like this. I like him too. He's awesome as well. He's getting a new character. He's getting a new version soon. I'm very excited for that. He's fucking cool as well. I really like him. I don't really have a lot of the other really cool characters in this version. He's gonna be on global in like 5 months. Yeah, he's cool too. Yeah, she's pretty awesome. Pretty much all these other characters I have on global. I mostly just play global because everybody started from scratch. It's actually really hard to catch up in this game. It's one of the worst things about it. Is catching up is like, it's not impossible, but you're pretty much gonna have to spend money. So if you're free to play, this game is not that friendly to you. It kinda screws you over. Right now, who do they have? They have Vera, Google Chrome, and Veritas. It's like, yeah, the only one I'd really take is Chrome or Veritas, but I think Chrome is still relevant. I'm obviously not really cashing on any games anytime soon. Not for another 2 weeks. I'm just gonna cash on PGR Global. Not this version. Probably keep this free to play, to be honest with you. Unless they have like some amazing deal, I'll probably just keep this free to play. Cause I already spend like $40 a month on global. I don't really want to play both versions. Forgot I got this selector. I wonder who's the best in here. She's power crept, so is he, so is her. So is she. Only one that's not really power crept is her and Luna. Those are like really the only two choices out of this. She just got power crept last month. These 6 here are all power crept. I already have Plume. She would be another option as well. I think Rosetta's probably like the best choice, to be honest with you. What packages they have? I'm not cashing on this game right now. I'm curious. actually not bad. Yeah, I'm not taking that account seriously. So I have a pretty good global account already. PGR is really free-to-play friendly. The problem with it is just the way that the game works. If you stop playing it for a long time, it's really hard to catch up. Even if you do spend money. That's kind of why I stopped playing the CN version. But it's like, I don't want to invest that much money just to catch up, when I could just keep playing global and I spend like, you know, a little bit a month. I spend about as much as people spend on like maybe 2 streaming services on that game a month. And I get more entertainment out of it. So no one really talks about that in that game. Is if you start playing that game now, you'll have like the goodwill. Like they give you a lot of welfare, but then you run out, and then you kind of can't really get every character. And if you play from the start, that's how that game gets you with fear of missing out, pretty much. If you stop playing it at any point, it's pretty difficult to catch up unless you're willing to cash. And even then you might have to wait because all the characters aren't available at once. So it's the money's only like part of the the willingness, and the amount of money you're willing to spend is not really the full equation, which is interesting. Because on other games like that they don't do that, so you know you can just come back and spend like thousands and get everything. You can't do that on that game. That's kind of why I don't really play CN seriously. Just because be spending a lot of money for like mostly the same stuff I already have in a language I can't read. I'd rather just fully devote myself to the global. Or if I keep spending a little bit a month, I'll get every single character. It makes more sense. This, on the other hand, I probably won't play global that much for a while. Just because they gave me the rebate on this, and I get everything for free. As long as I don't, like, splurge or be, like, irresponsible, I'll get, like, every new character. That's the plan, because people like to watch this game for some reason. Videos for this game do insanely well, and they take me, like, no effort to make. Yeah, I've still got a ridiculous amount of crystals on here, because they gave me the rebate. So it's like, I'll probably just stick on this version. Global's not coming back until, like, December anyway. I feel like they've just, with this game, the fact that they keep wiping on the global version is really, it's giving people false hope. Because this is fully released. Check Discord? For what? Oh, really, huh? I'm guessing it's like a unlock key. Yeah, it's basically just like fighting games. When they do that with fighting games, you know, they put out like this big-ass patch. and you look in the game and there's nothing. It's basically just the data. Online games, anything with online play has to do that. Otherwise you couldn't see the characters. So, yeah, looks like they're gonna shadow drop a lot, huh? I don't know if I'd buy it, because I'm not really into One Piece at all, but I'll check it out. If I got the cash money, I will. We'll see. I know people probably expect me to do it, but a lot of the anime gaming channels are going to cover that game anyway. I don't feel this intense desire to cover it myself. It's good that they're adding something to it at least. Oh, why is this stuttering so much? Hello? Come on, stop stuttering. Okay, can you stop stuttering? Nice. Works until I get into gameplay. You good now? Good now, video game? You need to talk? Video game's having a rough day, too. Need some paid time off. What the hell, man? Hey, what's up, man? Thank you. Video game is not doing very well right now. Needs to go to the doctor. Get its prescriptions refilled. It's really weird. As soon as I started fighting stuff, it like freaked out. I don't know what's up with that. This game has pretty awful optimization, so the emulator's probably not liking it much. I might have to get Nox Player to play this, maybe. Maybe BlueStacks isn't the optimal one for this. Sure seems like it isn't. Just random curse stuff like that happens all the time. Well, for the first DLC they did for Pirate Warriors 4, it was every 3 months they did a content drop. So it was like, the game released, and like I said, even people that aren't into the franchise at all, everybody cleared that game in like 2 weeks. I think it only took me like 30, 40 hours to get all the achievements, and I never go for achievements, by the way. So that should tell you how devoid that game is of content. And then they did 3 months, and then they put out the first one, and then it was 6 months it took for the rest of them. So by the time that the final character came out, the chick with the katana, that was like, it's like 9 months later. So high chance that they're doing that again, which I think is pretty stupid, because like nobody's really playing the game anymore. They got rid of all the RNG from Pirate Warriors 3, which was one of the reasons why that game felt like it had more content. It really didn't have much more. It's just, you had to grind for it, and it was completely random. It was basically like a gacha game. The problem is they took that out in Pirate Warriors 4, and they didn't add anything to replace it. So, you just burn through the game really fast. Even if you only play it a couple hours a day. You can do everything in that game in like a month of playing it like 1 to 2 hours a day. So if they're gonna do that again, I'm not sure how many people are gonna care. If they are gonna do like multiple patches for it, maybe they will add more this time. Because everybody just parrots the same thing about that game, is it's not a bad game, it's just... they want you to spend money on DLC, and there's just like, realistically, there's nothing to use it on. The best value you get out of that DLC is if you never played the game before, or you start a new file. You like erase your save. Because I did buy the Switch version when it was on sale a while back, and I played that for a while, and the new characters actually are worth the money if you haven't played the game before. It's just, if you bought it at launch, you gotta really question if it's worth the money. Because you get more out of like a fighting game character, or like a new character in like a hero shooter or something like Overwatch than you would the One Piece DLC, and it's like all the same price. So we'll see what happens, I guess. But I have my doubts that they're going to learn from their mistakes. They probably noticed that the DLC probably didn't sell as well as they projected. Because it's kind of a shit deal. It's really only worth it if you bought it in a Steam sale. If you buy Pirate Warriors 4 in the sale that's on right now, it's like 15 bucks for the characters. If you haven't played it before, that's worth it. Because you can use them to play through the game, and you'll get more value out of them. It's just if you already played it and you beat it, it's a pretty shit value. That's the problem. They didn't add anything to go with it. It's like a burger with no patty. Or a pizza with no sauce. It's edible. You can consume it, but it's just not worth what they're charging. I would hope so for their sake, because people aren't gonna like being nickel and dime for another $30 DLC that there's nothing to use it on. I know gamers can be entitled and stuff, but you're gonna charge me that much for something, it should be worth the money. Especially this long after it came out, too. That's the other thing. You just don't get as much value out of a character in like a single-player game as you do something like this. This game I'm playing right now, where I have like all these characters and stuff. Like, it changes the meta entirely. You know, no one really cares about the meta in single-player games that much, except people that are like really bored. Yeah, they put out a DLC. They put out a DLC data patch like a couple days ago, and I guess it might get announced in a few hours because they're doing a One Piece celebration or something. I'm not a fan of One Piece, but there's like some big event today. So since they already put out the update that says that either today or probably late in the weekend they're gonna put out a DLC for it, all signs point to yes. Because they would not just update the game otherwise. There's no... You boot up the game right now, there's nothing different. It's the same game. It's the exact same thing we've been playing for years. So they're gonna sell an unlock key. I don't know if they'll add more story, because that would, they'd have to bring back the voice actors, and we know how expensive they are. If they bring back new maps, they can just patchwork it together with, existing lines. I don't know if they would bother to make new lines, but if you're gonna do new story, then you kind of have to get the people in the booth to record again. So that's an interesting thought. Could go either way. I think you underestimate how cheap Bamco is. This is the same company that didn't want to bring back Troy Baker for the Vesperia remaster because they think he's too expensive. He pretty much came out and said that he would have done it for cheap. They didn't even fucking contact him. They got somebody else to voice like the 20% of extra lines. So you have two voice actors in the same cutscene for the same character. Which gives the impression that that character in that game is like as crazy as the Joker or something, has like split personalities or something. You underestimate how cheap they are. I guess for One Piece they'll probably foot the bill for it, but I don't expect them to do anything that takes money or effort anymore. No, I don't think Pirate Warriors 4 has better gameplay. I think it has worse gameplay. The inconsistent hit stun sucks too. It makes that game pretty miserable to play compared to 3. There's no consistency to the combat in that game at all. They just walk out whenever they feel like it. Pirate Warriors 4 is just a mess, gameplay-wise. It's cool that they tried to change the combat, but they did it in the most half-finished way ever. Let's just take this existing character, the same animations, but then try to make them work in this new system. It didn't work, that's the problem. Like Tashigi, the chick with the katana. She is awful in that game. You have stuff that you should be able to use in the air and you can't, which is also the other dumb thing about that game. That game is a lot better with mods. I'll probably check if the mods still work after this, actually. I still have the cheat engine table. The game is just a jank mess. It's still fun to play. It's not a bad game, but... Now, the movesets in Pirate Warriors 4 are either great or terrible. There's very little in between. Mostly because they got told to take the same animations and port them to a completely different combat system. With very inconsistent results. You know, Luffy plays fine, the main guy with the hat. He plays fine. Some of the others play fine too. But then there's characters like the chick with the katana, Tashigi, who's like super fun to play in 3. They put like no effort into that character at all. They didn't really they barely added any new animations. They just ported the animations from 3 and tried to repurpose them to do different things, which is a problem with a lot of the characters in that game. Which is why the DLC is worth buying, if you haven't beaten the game before. Because those characters are much better put together. Mostly because they're all completely new. They either weren't in the previous games, or they weren't even characters in the manga before then. So they had to start from scratch, and they fit a lot better within the constraints of the combat system. It's the ones in the base roster. A lot of them are honestly garbage to play. And I don't know how much of that is the fault of Omega Force. I feel like they were told to make that game on a shoestring budget to maximize profits, and given like no time to do it. There's really only a couple characters in the roster that actually feel... existing characters from 3 that actually feel like they still work. It's not easy to take animations meant for something else, an older game, and try to make them do something else, which is pretty much what they did. There's some of the older characters in that game are fine, but a lot of them honestly aren't. They're pretty terrible. Yeah, and a lot of times you break the armor and they just fucking get it back again. It's like, alright, cool. Kind of like what Capcom used to do in the 90s. They would just take the same sprites and just recycle them over and over and over. And try to do, like, different things with them, but when you're playing the game, it just feels cheap. Because they've been using the same sprite for, like, 10 years, and they don't even add any new frames. That's kind of how Pirate Warriors 4 is. I really don't think it's the fault of Omega Force. They probably did not want to completely change the combat system, but they were kind of forced to, because, you know, they're commissioned, they're funded to make those games. Unlike this game, where they have, like, complete control over it. There's nobody else making the decisions but them. Like, Pirate Warriors 4 is on sale right now. If you haven't played that game before, it's worth buying the character pass. It's like 15 bucks, I think, right now. It's worth it if you haven't played the game before, because they're much better designed than the ones that are in the game by default. The ones in default are pretty bad. The problem with Pirate Warriors 4 combat is just that they they tried to copy the worst things about Tales games. Because in Tales games, they do that a lot too. They just tech out of combos randomly. Which makes it feel like you're kind of just rolling the dice every time you hit them. They copied like the worst, that's one of the worst things about Tales games, is when you fight bosses. There's obviously still a lot of skill involved, but sometimes they can just decide to screw you over whenever they feel like it. They just kind of copied that system from Tales, but then, like, they didn't think about the whole thing, like, you juggle them in the air, and they get out, and then they put you back on the ground, and then you try to get back up in the air again. You have to break their armor again. There's just, like, no formula to it. That's what I can't stand about that game. It's such a weird thing to try to police people from doing, because it's like, most people that play these games don't care about the deep combat, or how deep you can make the combat if you like it enough. Most people just want to play a game with their favorite characters. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just weird that we're so deeply offended by people like me when we're such a vocal minority. It's just like the tripping in Smash Brothers. They said that that was supposed to make it so nobody could get too good at the game. Everybody fucking hated tripping, because it was random. It's not like there was some formula to it, like, you know, if you do this move too many times in a row, then your character will trip, so you can, like, work around. It's like, nope, they just do it when they feel like it. And nobody fucking liked it. Everybody hated that. It didn't matter if it was, like, an 8-year-old playing the game or one of the, like, 30-year-old cyborgs that plays it. No one liked it. If you're gonna have combos in the game and you don't want people to do it forever, there should be, like, some kind of formula for when it kicks in. It shouldn't just be whenever the hell it feels like it. This game has that same problem too. The difference is that you have invincible moves that you can do at any point in an animation. The thing about Pirate Warriors 4 is that it's all on cooldown, so they can just decide to do that when you can't do anything about it, which is what makes it feel so artificial.
「
When is the One Piece Day thing? Is it like a couple minutes or something? I'm not gonna bother watching it. If they somebody tells me that there's Pirate Warrior stuff being announced, I'll turn it on. I've never watched a single episode of the show or read a page of the manga, so I'm not gonna sit through all that, but I'm interested to see if they show like a trailer or something. I got about $20. I could probably get the DLC if I wanted to, but I need some concrete evidence first.
私の思い通り。
新しい時代、私の目指す名族に認められて箔をつけたいのか。仕方あるまい。力を見せてみよう。
この目が私の世界になる。同じくしてます。
下してやろう。
強制を倒すつもりだね。その日に戻さねばならん。受け取るとあの向けだ。
敵将討ち取ったわ。
よくやってると思うぞ。おい、気づいてくれ。俺はもうダメだ。もう腹くくるしかねえか。俺が相手だ。
Best combat? Pirate Warriors 3, Basara 3 and 4, Warriors Orochi 4, best combat. No, I think that's just gonna get announced on their site, light site. I think that's just gonna get announced on their site. It's kind of weird that they're remaking that, honestly, because it's like it's not a game a lot of people grew up with. mean, you could say that about Wild Guns and Ninja Warriors as well, but Shadow the Ninja is like a really late NES game. It's like 91 or something. Anything past 89 is like a really late NES game. This was over like 6 years after console came out. I did not grow up with that game. I did play Pocky and Rocky and Ninja Warriors as a kid. I did not grow up with Shadow the Ninja. I might have played it like once. It's cool that they're doing it though. Kind of running out of games to remake. They already kind of blew their load, really.
いいかねえぐってただじゃ済まないよ
Ninja Warriors is like probably the most underrated beat 'em up on the SNES because it's like second best, I'd say, to Final Fight 3. Top 3 is pretty much Ninja Warriors, Final Fight 3, and Turtles in Time. Everything else is way worse than those games. I like a pretty large margin. SNES has a lot of shitty beat-em-ups. Oh man, I gotta babysit his bitch ass. I don't want to. What the hell killed him? Not like it matters, I'm just chilling out right now. Trying out combos.
お前も名族に認められて箔をつけたいのか仕方あるまい力を見せてみよう
私の好き
Oh no, well, Pocky and Rocky isn't really even a remake. It's kind of like, basically like a completely different game. I think it's a little unfair to call that a remake. It's more of like a full-fledged sequel. Just with like, some things are the same, but they added like, so much new stuff. More than they did for Ninja Warriors. Ninja Warriors, that basically is just a straight remake. They didn't really add anything big to it. It's mostly just better combat and visuals and new mechanics and stuff. Like, the structure of the game is literally identical. The main change they made is they made it harder to cheese the final boss. That's not something you're going to notice or care about unless you grew up with the original or played it on emulator. But I actually did have that game as a kid, that's why I was really happy when they remade it. I never thought it would get remade. They haven't shown any gameplay yet. It's probably not going to get shown anytime soon. Because the Ninja Warriors remake they announced with like... I don't even think they announced that with any gameplay. As far as I can remember, they did. Yeah, I didn't play Shadow the Ninja as a kid. If I did, I may have rented it like once. It was not like this big cornerstone of my gaming career as a kid like Ninja Warriors was. Ninja Warriors was a big game for me as a kid. I played that to death.
誰も守れないえぐってあげるここは引かせてもらうわね燃えてきたよただじゃ済まないよ敵将討ち取ったわ
力
I already knew that. I have played it before. This wasn't something I really grew up with. Does the PC version of Pocky and Rocky run above 60 FPS? Because if it doesn't, I'm not buying it. That'd be like my main reason to buy it, because I already have my copy dumped from the Switch. I already paid them for it. I already got a PC version. I'm curious about that for Ninja Warriors as well. Are they gonna... Is it like hard-coded at 60 FPS, or does it go higher? Yeah, I know people are probably going to want a port review for that for me, but I'm not going to have the cash. So have to rely on other people. Yeah, there's a skin DLC you can buy for the peons and the officers. Only the generics. So the generics can look like this, or be in like Kamen Rider Gimp suits, whichever you like. Have them on Orochi for now, for some variety. Yeah, just the generics, so peons and generic officers. That's probably hard-coded at 60, most likely. Which makes me not sure if I'm gonna buy those ports right away. Maybe next month when I get paid, I might grab them, but just to have them on the Steam Deck.
これ以上の成果は上がらない。撤収する。短期で来たか。それを見る。わしの長年の考えだ。
Monitor only goes up to 60 FPS. Yeah, that's a blessing in disguise. Because once you go above 60, you just can't go back. It's like when the Jedi turn into Sith. You can't go back. Everything looks so much choppier. Have varying results on whether it actually looks better too. It depends on the game. Like this, for instance, looks beautiful at 120. In some other games, you run them at 60, they look like really bad. But a lot of the stuff I play generally looks much better. Yeah, this game has no super armor at all. There's a mod that another viewer of mine actually commissioned the modder to make. I'm just not using it right now because I'm gonna be doing videos, the video series with the affinity turned off, and I don't want to mess with the game too much. So, but yeah, that is a thing. You can just put hyper armor in this game now. Tell the computer to suck it, if you so desire. Nice. I hate the stupid traps. The lion things are so fucking annoying. He's dead? Good. That's not the game's fault, though. That's, the deadlocks are you can't beat them. You can't win at, 120 FPS. It's not possible to win them. So if that happens during one of these runs I'm doing, I'm pretty much just screwed. That's why whenever that happens, I just say all my apes are gone, because you're gonna lose every time. There's no way around it. He hasn't been able to fix the deadlocks at 120 FPS. So it's like legit twice as difficult to do. But all my apes are gone again. There we go. I might wait until he fixes that before I start doing serious runs, because it's basically like gambling. You gotta win the gacha. If they don't do that, it's pretty smooth, but depends on the character. Yeah, that mod wasn't worked on for that long. It took a long time for the emulators to even be able to run that game well, so Maybe somebody else will look into it. But yeah, that game has frame rate problems as well if you try to
ここから
increase
先
it.
貴様の生きて通れる道はない。
いい子ねエグトー
俺が戦い続ける。最強の名は譲らん。
Come on, stop doing that! Goddamn annoying. He techs out like every 2 seconds. Let me have fun. Okay, you're just not gonna let me combo at all, so... that's what you get for not letting me have fun. Every single time he's in hit stun, he just techs out. No fun allowed. Fun just evaporates when they decide they're just gonna tech out every 2 seconds. The moment they have like a frame of it hit stun, they just keep doing it. Yeah, no one wants to fix Valkyrie Elysium. It's kind of weird. I couldn't finish that game. I hated being locked in animations all the time. It felt awful. They just want their games to be stiff. Because of Ninja Gaiden games they made like 15 years ago. Some weird... really committed to the bit, I guess you can put it that way. tend to get more frustrated on a first playthrough of games like this, and after I play through it more than once, I tend to like it. The funny thing is that with this game, everything I hated about it, everybody else hates too. Everyone hates this grappling hook. They feel that the balancing is kind of weird. There's stuff that just leaps and bounds better than everything else, so you never want to take it off. But if you can look past that, it's a really good game. Definitely better than a lot of other Mega Man clones, that's for sure. And they can fix those things with patches too, so... But yeah, the upgrade system feels kind of just half-baked, because there's just stuff that... Like the double jump, you never want to take it off. It makes the game so much better. There's no reason to ever take it off. But you get like 20 upgrades. You get like 20 upgrades, and you know, one of them's pretty much always going to be the double jump. It'd be stupid to not have it on. I think they should just give you some kind of unlockable challenge, like, I don't know, do something like beat the game in under an hour. Just let you turn them on and off. I think that would be a lot better. This game has the, I guess you could call it the illusion of choice. Cliché game design. It's like they give you a lot of upgrades, but there's stuff that's so much better than the other stuff, you just never want to take it off. So, even unlocking it just feels kind of pointless. I think they should have went with like a point system instead. Like, you know, the double jump takes more points than, like, the one that gives you, iframes when you slide, which is, like, nowhere near as all-purpose useful. But, like, maybe you could go, like, hey, you know, maybe I don't have a double jump, but I have, like, a bunch of these other less useful things on, because it doesn't take as many points. That's how it works in, 30XX. They have a point system for your armor pieces, so you can choose what you want, and they have like varying point values. And the double jump is more valuable than, you know, having hyper armor or being able to charge up your attacks more. So they make you pay more points for that. I think that would have been better. The upgrades seem really cool on paper, but you figure out what the good stuff is like really quickly. Trying to find the last hostage here. I don't know where it is. I'll have to look up a video. Like, you only have 3 of these. Like the hyper armor. When am I ever going to take that off? Air jump. When am I ever going to take that off? Never. There's no reason to ever take it off. So I have 1 slot to work with. And there's like 20 different upgrades you can get. They really should give you like a point system. Yeah, it's a really good game. I think they can fix the balancing issues in time. It's really just the upgrades not being created equal, and they give you the illusion of choice, because there's a couple really busted ones, and the others are just like... They would be fun to play with, but you have no space. And the grappling hook doesn't feel good to use. The game kind of stops being fun when they force it on you. Other than that, it's a really great game. You can look at the feedback on the forums. It's pretty much, I'm just parroting what they said. And I didn't look at their stuff before I beat the game, so They're my own legitimate thoughts. It's just everybody kind of thinks the same thing, which is kind of unfortunate. But it's a good thing on their part because they know that nobody likes those things about this game, so they will get fixed, I'm sure. Definitely one of the best games I've played this year. The air jump should just be, the double jump should be something you should just unlock. So it's basically 1/3 of your slots taken right there. You never want to take that off. They underestimated how many people play these with a speedrun mentality, meaning skip as many challenges as possible, just jump over things. It's unhealthy. It's definitely happening, because they had, like, pixel art. They had pixel art cutscenes from the intro they were showing, so it is happening. They're just copying the AAA developers and not showing gameplay. But yeah, it definitely is happening. It's just a matter of when. Maybe they're farther along in it than we think. They seem to churn out those games pretty quickly. It's only like 2.5 years between Ninja Warriors and Pocky Pocky. Boss fights. Mega Man bosses with hit stun. Never thought I'd see the day. Nope. You respect their PMS attack, and you just combo their second health bar to death. Very good. Oh, come on. You can make that. masterpiece video game. Up there with Assault Spy. What other Mega Man game lets you DP a boss into hit stun and make them fall all the way to the other side of the screen? Name one other game that lets you do that. What's up, man? Yeah. New Game Plus in case it looks too easy. I have like 95% of the stuff in the game. I'm only missing a couple of the passive upgrades. I have everything else. Just playing for fun. They balance the game out a little bit more. I might try to go for some of the achievements, but most of them look pretty grindy and not fun. So I'm not really big on Chivos. It's pretty rare for me to care about them. Bunch of cutscenes I can't skip now. Bane of my existence. I've seen this like 4 times. No, another cutscene I can't skip. You skip one of them. For some reason you can't skip this one. It's against the law. sucks. Oh, come on. I hate the grappling hook so much. It's like the worst thing about this game. Half the time he doesn't do it when I tell him to. I wish they would just, like, remove it. Would you hang on to the thing, please? So janky. Like, just clunky to use. I always hate when this game forces me to use it, because that's the only time I ever use it. Is when it forces me to. Normal jumping feels fine. Just doing this shit feels so clunky. No matter how many times I do that part, I keep falling because it's just like not really intuitive to use. I made it to a checkpoint. Gotta use the damn grappling hook again. Would you do it when I tell you to, please? Clean fight. That was the best fight I've ever done to that. GG's. One more level to go. Alright, last level. Alright, final bosses. There's basically like 2 bosses in a row. Let's see how smoothly I can do it this time. This is like my 3rd or 4th playthrough. A bunch of cutscenes can't skip. Totally not Sigma in the back. Comparison will get even stronger after you see the rest of his body. Gonna fight Colonel first. Colonel Sanders. Good fight. That's the speed tech right there. Nice. GG's. There's Gravity Circuit. Excellent game. That was a really clean final fight. Is basically at the end, that last phase, his arms blow up, so it's like really hard to hit him. But what you can do is you can pop the Bunshin move, and then just go up to him, hit him twice, and then jump cancel, and it takes off like half his health. He basically skipped that whole phase. I haven't watched any speedruns for this. This is all just it's all just from me just playing. I might do New Game Plus speedruns of this. It's like, let me see what my final time was. Probably like around an hour. It's a pretty short game if you already have everything. Pretty much have the optimal setup for skipping stuff in the game anyway. Like the air dash can skip a lot of enemy encounters, and the double jump as well. One of the best games to come out this year. Well worth the wait. I waited for this game for years. It's definitely, it didn't disappoint. It's mostly just the progression and gear system feels really kind of tacked on. Not really well designed, but sure they'll... Oh wow, it's like almost under an hour. Almost under an hour. That was a pretty good run. That's like my fastest time so far. Just barely over an hour. I might start speedrunning this. I have all the stuff that matters. 1 hour speedrun. Not bad. I might actually get the rest of the hostages before I do another run, though. Yeah, the controls feel very good. It's mostly just this that sucks. It's mostly just that it doesn't carry your momentum very well. Maybe they'll tweak that later on. The truth of who he is he's basically the new Gravity Circuit, and the purple robot is the old one. But I guess the purple robot, like, I guess he was about to die, so it got transferred to him. Like, the main robot, the red one, he's just a normal citizen, but he gets possessed by the Gravity Circuit, so that's how he has all those powers. And then at the end, the old Gravity Circuit, the purple robot that you fight, he becomes the new commander or whatever to control all the bots. Because if that big boss that you kill is not there, then all the bots, like, they go out of service. So he turns into the new one. Then they basically stop. They stop destroying planets. That's basically the whole story. It's not really a big story game. Yeah, that game is awesome. I hope that they add more to it. I want to look up speedrun.com right now. What's the New Game Plus record for that? Because I just beat it in about an hour without watching any videos or looking at any tech. 39:20. Well, it's pretty good for me not watching anything, not no serious attempts. The Bushiden, yeah, that game has been vaporware for a while. I hope that game will turn out as good as Gravity Circuit, but they haven't really shown much gameplay. I have a feeling that game is getting bodied by It's just the reality of game development. They probably barely have enough money to finish the game. A lot of those Kickstarters that like barely get funded, those guys are like struggling to finish the game. I have a feeling that's what happened. But I think they did get published by Humble, so maybe the financial part isn't as much of an issue. But yeah, I hope that game turns out good. There haven't been that many good ninja games for a while. I hope the movement is good. The only thing that's bad about Gravity Circuit movement is the grappling hook. The grappling hook just feels clunky, and it doesn't really carry your momentum very much, so it doesn't really feel good to use. And if you want to use it in combat, you have to take the upgrades to make it worth using. And you only have 3 slots, like I said. If they fix those things, I think the game would be even better. But you can work around it. I only use the grappling hook when I have to. And even then, I skip a lot of the parts where you have to, because I have the double jump and the air dash. But yeah, that game is a pleasant surprise. It's got some balancing issues for sure, but I'm sure that in time they'll work them out. Jitsu Squad as well. I don't know what's going on with that game. They haven't contacted me to beta test or anything, so hopefully the DLC for that comes out soon. Well, they're basically adding like a bloody palace to the game and a new character, so that's going to make that game a lot of fun to play. It's just because the campaign's a little bit long. The campaign in that game, I wouldn't say it overstays its welcome, but it is a bit long. So, and the game's pretty deep. It's got a lot of mechanics you have to pay attention to. You can't just button mash, so it can get a little exhausting. I think once they have the new Bloody Palace mode in, it'll probably be a lot more fun to just turn on and play. Because right now you kind of got to commit to a full playthrough, which not everybody has the time or endurance for. But hopefully that's coming soon as well. Double Dragons in like 6 days. I haven't heard back about a key. Judging that video that Lightside posted in my Discord of the guy had terrible quality and he didn't know how to play and he had like 90,000 subscribers. I'm going to hope that I'm eligible for a key. But I haven't heard back from them in over a week. So I don't know what's going on with that. Worst case scenario, I'll do a little crowdfunding campaign for like $20 or whatever it costs to get it. But yeah, the marketing for that game has been really weird. Some people are just like putting up almost the entire game, and then I have friends that have it that can't post anything, and then somebody else is posting full stuff. I don't understand what's going on with that game. It's like, I don't know why the embargo is so weird. It's like, it's just a beat 'em up. There's not like some gripping plot twist like Final Fantasy 16. You know, there's no like half-hour motion captured ending that they need to hide. It's just a beat 'em up. There's like maybe like 3 cutscenes or a couple minutes of story in that game completely. It's not a story narrative focused game. But yeah, the rules for covering that game are like all over the place, and I can't even begin to understand them. But if I get a key, I'll let you guys know. Normally I would have it by now, but that whole situation is all kinds of messed up. I don't know what's going on with it, so I don't have the money for it right now, but I might try to raise some funds just in case, so I can get it on release day. But from what I've seen, it's a really short game, so it should be pretty quick to get the videos out. We'll see. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and take a break. I need to hydrate. I'm gonna go have a snack and maybe go to the store. So we'll come back. We'll probably play. We'll play when we get back. If the One Piece Pirate Warriors DLC comes out and if I can afford it, I might check it out. Otherwise, I'll probably play like some 30XX or some more Dynasty Warriors, or I might play some Switch games or something. But yeah, I'm gonna take a little break. I'll see you guys later.